Hi, everybody. My name's Liz McRae, and this is Eamon Gamble, and this is the 7-Minute Takeover, where we talk about all things acquisitions.
That's right. And today our topic is a little bit around finding companies that aren't being listed by brokers, call it off-market opportunities or proprietary search. One of the hardest things about being a searcher is finding the right opportunity. And so if you're not finding the ones that are listed for sale, some get itchy feet and want to go find the right company themselves. So the problem becomes, how do you get that owner to open the door to you to discuss selling their company, and specifically to discuss selling the company to you?
Yeah, there are pros and cons to this approach, and it's easier to take this approach when you're not agnostic. So a lot of buyers start out looking at a lot of different industries and sectors, but when you can start to narrow it down to one or two or a handful that you're really interested in, and you're not finding many through the broker channels, that's where you can take a more nurtured approach and start to contact companies directly. And we find the people who have the most success are doing it within kind of one or two industries, and they're very specific about what they're looking for. And there are pros and cons to this in a number of different ways. Eamon?
Well, why don't we start with a few just key do's and don'ts? When you're dealing with a broker, they're the ones managing the process. But with proprietary search, you're approaching somebody who doesn't know that you're interested in buying their business. So you're the one in the driver's seat at that point. And so managing the process and doing it in a delicate fashion can become paramount. So first obvious don't tell staff that you're looking to buy the company. That's going to throw the owner right off and destroy any trust that you're looking to build. So do try to get past the gatekeeper, whether that's the admin assistant or the first person that you've met within the company. Also do your research about the company, about the industry. If you're given a shot to talk about the owner right after you reach out and you fumble the ball right then it wasn't really worth reaching out in the first place. Don't come across as very generic. This isn't one of the situations to just give your one-page resume and say, I'm the right buyer for you, and not kind of tailor it to that opportunity. Again, you want to prove to the business owner that you're not just running down a list of 200 companies that they're on, but you're genuinely interested in looking to buy that company. The do's and don'ts will only get you so far. I know there's a million ways to try proprietary search. Liz, what have you seen that you thought was particularly effective?
Yeah, a number of different things that we've seen and even that we've tried. So we do proprietary outreach for corporate clients. And so what we find is a more nurtured, personalized approach really, really does come across more authentic, and they are more willing. So there are almost like two trains of thought: is like make a massive list of companies and send an email blast to every company, and the ones that get back, those are the ones that we'll focus on. I prefer more of a nurtured approach where we curate a very specific list of companies and we research each one and we send them a very personalized message. We've done some research on the company. You can tell that we've done some research and picked out a few things that we've noticed about the company, and coming at it from not just a, hey, are you interested in selling your company approach, but that we've got a purchaser who their company has caught the eye of, and they'd be interested in either an investment or an acquisition or potentially a joint venture, and that it could be this could look many different ways, and we're just looking for a conversation, and we're just looking to get our foot in the door and learn about their either their growth strategy or their succession strategy, one or the other. Either way, we just want to get a conversation going. So that's what we find works when we're doing our outreach. But I've also heard of searchers who sent something personally and actually mailed something to a business owner. So we've heard beef jerky be something that was mailed out. But I think the biggest, most critical thing, regardless of the approach, is the follow-up. Is like you're very often not going to get any response from the initial outreach. So and oftentimes it takes multiple follow-ups. So it's like organizing a campaign. Either way you go, it's a campaign and multiple touch points.
Yeah, I think there's 100 other topics we can probably cover in future podcasts. Where do you find these companies? How do you make sure they don't go to market after you approach them? And so we're just taking a look at the tip of the iceberg, but I think that's it for our 7 minutes today.
All right, until next time, we'll see you in the next 7 minutes. Take care, everybody.
Bye.